look at it. All right, I just covered this page. And that is my information sheet. And the only thing I want you to know there is cell number right there. You can try to call my office, but like I say, unless it's office hours, where am I? I'm in class. And Tuesday and Thursday is not the day to contact me because I'm in class from 8:15 until 2:30. So I wouldn't suggest that. I was born and raised in the McLeese community. Those of you that are transplanted in that community, it's McLeese. But the original school was called McLeese. Sorry to tell you that, but it's not McLeese. But that's the way they pronounce it. So they also pronounce Generosity Creek, and it's Genesee Creek. But who knows more? People that grew up there, the people that transplanted there. All right, let's go with class courtesies. Class courtesies. My number one rule, I treat students the way I want to be treated. Let's say you walk up to me after class or during class while y'all are working on a problem, and I got to find somebody to pick on. Who should I pick on? I don't know. I ain't seen anybody in here yet that I could pick on. If I had an old guy here, I don't see any old guys, so I'll just. What's your name? Yeah.
Austin.
Last name?
Massey.
Mr. Massey. Let's say Mr. Massey comes up to me up here at the desk and say, look, I got a problem with number 20. I cannot get it to work, and it's like a 5-step problem. And he said, the first step, I did this, and then the second step. And while he's going over the second step, I pull out my cell phone and start texting. What is that? As Bon Quickly says, what is that? Rude. It is rude. That's rude to the person that's asking me a question for me to text while he's asking me a question. What's the difference in me texting while he's asking me a question and you texting while I'm writing on the board? What's the difference? There isn't a difference. You are being rude. I don't do it to you, so I don't want you to do it to me. If you're that bad off to where you cannot go through a class and not text, you have more issues than just texting. Okay? Some of you have kids. Some of you have parents. Some of you have siblings. Some of you have work. If you get a text that is important, do as I do. I have 3. If I see Westside High School or Corey Roberts call me, or if I see McLeese Elementary School, if I see that one of the secretaries there or the teacher there call me, or if my mother calls me, because I give her my schedule and she doesn't read it, she just calls me whenever she feels like it. Anybody got a mother like that? Or a father? My father was even worse, but he passed away in January. So, but my mother, she's the same way. She'll call. Cows are out. Okay, Mom, I'm teaching. I can't do anything about it. But anyway, the whole point is, if I get one of those phone calls, I will say, excuse me for a minute, I have to take this, and I'll go out in the hallway. So what do I ask that you do? Same thing, only you don't have to say, excuse me, you just pick your phone up, go outside in the hallway, and see, there it goes. I don't go into cardio infarction or cardiac arrest because my cell phone goes off, and I'm not going to do it when yours goes off. Am I in the minority? Yes. Have you seen some of your teachers' reaction to your cell phones? Oh my gosh. We had one teacher decide that she was going to put up these signs. Somebody turned it upside down. I don't know who, but somebody turned it upside down because I think it's stupid. Me telling you not to use your cell phone is very what? No, Starts with a H.
Hypocritical.
Hypocritical. Why?
Because if you have your cell phone out, like all.
Exactly. And I'm not going to turn off my cell phone and leave it in my office while I teach. No, I'm not going to do it because I've got children. So all I ask is that you be courteous. Okay? If you have to answer, if you have to text, go out in the hallway. The hallway in the school is like the highway in the parking lot. You can go out in the middle of that highway and strip down naked and do jumping jacks. Tri-County Tech can't do a thing about it. You can go out in that hallway and you can text and you can play games on your phone, you can do whatever you want to. I can't do anything about it. But the minute you set foot into this parking lot, or the minute you set foot in this classroom, this is my world, my universe, and I just want you to be courteous. I want you to be professional. Okay? Now, I am in the minority. I'm probably the only teacher that has this speech that says, do whatever you need to do. The other teachers are freaking crazy about cell phones. So we have some teachers that will take up your cell phone. We have some teachers that says you can't have it on your desk. We have some teachers that say you have to turn it off. And then you have some that go into cardio infarctions when it goes off in class. I'm not that way, but I do ask that you be courteous to me. Because if I see you texting while I'm teaching, then I will call you down and say, look, didn't I say something about being courteous and not rude? And then the second time I catch you, I'm just going to call you out and I say, you are being rude. Please leave. Okay? This is not an online class, but I do teach. I do teach 100% of the time. Why? Because if I give you 4 tests, I have to give you the test, then I have to give it back, right? I give you the test one day, and then I grade it, and then I give it back and go over it, right? That's 2 days. So each of these takes up 2 days of class. Not to mention the final, but the final doesn't count because I'm not teaching that way. So that's how many days I could be teaching. 8 days I could be teaching. Let's take your homework. You know how your math teacher always went around and checked your homework, see you copied the answers right and back and through it? You know, if they check, you know. Well, let's say I did 15 minutes. 15 minutes checking, see if you did homework. 15 times 2, that's 30 minutes. 30 times 15, I'm just going to multiply. I mean, just going to round up to 15, it's easier. It's 450 minutes divided by 90 comes up to what? 5 days. What's 5 plus 8? 13 days I could be what? Teaching. So that's why in 1996, when I started at Tri-County Tech, I taught 1 semester and did all that grading and did all that. I said, look, I'm going to do something else. I'm not doing this the rest of my life. And that's when I started looking into software that actually did the problems on the computer, and the computer grades the problems. And then I started growing into that. It was called Interact Math. And then Interact went into Course Compass, and then Course Compass went into my math lab, and then my math lab came into MyLabs Plus. So that's why we have MyLabs Plus, because in 1996 I said, I can't do this. And that's why you have it. Okay. Attendance policy. Tri-County Tech doesn't really care about your attendance. But why do we have an attendance policy? Because of financial aid. People try to get over on financial aid by signing up for 12 or 15 classes, showing up 1 week, and then quitting, and then taking the money and running. So we have to do attendance tracker. We have to get on the computer and count people here. Now, I realize that you have lives. I realize that you have work. I realize that you have families, you have all things, and sometimes you can't get here. So what I tell students, at least try to show up once a week. If you show up once a week, then you will be okay. You'll get an email that says you need to be in class. you'll get an email. And I don't send out that email. I've got better things to do than send out emails telling you that you should be in class. That's a thing that comes from our attendance tracker. If I put no, you're not here, it automatically sends you an email that says you need to be in class. Come through, put a note on my desk. If you put a note on my desk right up here, and you cross the threshold of that doorway, I will count you here. Okay? That's the only way I'll count you here. And then you can go do whatever you need to do. 2 weeks is all you're able to miss. If you miss 2 weeks, then they will send me an email telling me to drop you. And I have to drop you. And then after I drop you, you can come to me and say, will you reinstate me? And I have to reinstate you. Which leads to the question of what? Why do we even do it? I don't know. Federal government. Financial aid is the federal government. So, and we all know that the federal government is all screwed up anyway. So if I drop you, just come back and say, will you reinstate me? And I'll reinstate you. Everybody got that? I'm telling you, it's stupid. All right. I generalize when I speak. When I talk about how dumb students are, I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about some of the things that y'all do. All right? I don't sit at home and say, well, the guy with the coral shirt on, I really don't like him. I'm going to talk about him today. I don't do that. All right? I don't sit, now if I don't like you, you'll know it. No, I'm just kidding. I pretty much like all of my students. And I've been teaching for 19 years. You know how many people I've had to ask to leave my room? Anybody want to take a guess? You're right. How'd you know that? Huh? You know everything. We have a NASA engineer in the room. How'd you know that? You just took a guess? Two people. One was a jerk, and the other one was just a social, awkward person. It just made everybody uncomfortable. You tell a joke, everybody would laugh, and 15 minutes later, he'd laugh. Oh, God, he was awful. He went to the tanning bed. This was like 18 years ago. He went to the tanning bed, and he wore those Terminator sunglasses. And he had a white strip across his head. I mean, this guy was, oh gosh, think of the most socially awkward person, and that's this guy. I mean, just terribly. Oh, he just made the whole class. I called him the file and I just said, look, you stay at home. You're just messing up my class. You can do the work at home. Do it at home. It's awful. But he made the class. It got to be there was only 2 or 3 people coming to class out of 30. When he didn't show up, everybody came. It was awful. And the second guy, he was just a jerk. He had hair and he wasn't short, so we'll just leave it at that. He had insecurities. And his girlfriend was in the class also. And I said, now this is the way you need to do this problem. And he said out loud, he said, you don't need to do it that way, you need to do it this way. I said, look, buddy, you need to leave my classroom and don't come back. He got up and said, fine, I don't want to be in here anyway. I said, good, because I don't want you. He said, come on. His girlfriend's name was Summer. I said, come on, Summer. She said, I ain't going nowhere. She said, I want to learn this stuff. Oh my God, he got mad. I thought he was going to blow a gasket. Anyway, after that class, she broke up with him. And today, she graduated Clemson and in political science, and she is now working in Jeff Duncan's office. She's doing good. I don't know what happened. I wrote her an email the other day about the jerk, and she said, oh, don't remind me. But anyway, we all live and learn. But 19 years, 2 people. So I don't have that many problems. My class is based on the following. If you work, you pass. If you lazy, you flunk. I have fixed this. I have got this down to a science. All right? There is no way. If you ever meet somebody that's failed my class, you might want to get away from them. Because either stupid or lazy is going to wear off on you. because there is no way to fail my class unless you just don't try. Okay? And that takes care of that. I was going to tell you, if you want to get a free calculator, Wabbit Emu. Pull it up on your Play Store or your whatever your iPhone people have, and you can download TI-83, TI-84, TI-84 Plus, TI-83 Silver, whichever one you want. That'll save you from having to buy a calculator.
There it is, right there.
Go ahead and do it. I know you're dying to. Go ahead and do it. And
Is it on the App Store?
yeah. What irritates Hubert? I don't know if you've gone to ratemyprofessor.com. I don't want you to tell me what mine says because I don't look at it. There's three things I don't do. I don't like to hear myself talk. I don't like to see myself on video. And I don't like to see people write stuff about me. So I don't look at mine. I do not look at mine. But we can have some fun with it because you need to see about your other classes. So go to ratemyprofessor.com.
There's an application there.
And you know what's so bad about it? That app is like 2 or 3 years old.
I can't get it. You can't get it on iPhone.
iPhone you have to buy it.
Can you?
That's because y'all are up here, and us Droid people are down here, so we're on welfare. So they let us for free. You iPhone people, y'all are up here, so y'all have to pay for it. It is. You can get it on both. Okay. Do y'all have it? Did y'all pull it up? Okay, forget it. Don't even, just don't. Just go out.
I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it.
All right, you can go to Tri-County Tech and let's pull up somebody. Let's pull up some bad teachers. Anybody got one they want to pull up?
Pull it up.
Huh?
Let's see, Hubert McClure.
No, I'm not pulling mine up.
What's our English teacher's name?
What's your English teacher?
Miss Gary.
Who?
You married Gary.
Oh yeah, she's got mixed reviews because she's a liberal. Mary Garen. She got a little chili pepper.
Hotness.
Very good teacher, best professor, friendly. She is a good teacher. I'm just messing with her because she's liberal and I'm a conservative. So, and most people are conservative when they get the paycheck. But anyway, that's a joke, okay? That's why most students are liberal until they get a job. All right. It's hard to get a good grade on her paper. I have never heard anything bad about her. Terrible. If you're trying, okay, look at this. All right, now, let me tell you something. What does this tell you about this comment? This person's an idiot.
No.
That's like, she's a terrible teacher. Teacher. So I would not take this comment to task. I would mark this one out because he don't even know, or she don't
You
even
should
know.
report it. Report that rating.
Yeah. She only talks about Obama and is very biased. How about biased? This person don't need to be in class, in English class. Okay. How about another one? Anybody else?
I really want to see yours.
No. Who?
All right, I'm gonna get mine.
So, she grades the papers way too harshly. If it doesn't sound perfectly like how she would write it, she takes off 1,000,000 points. That's painful. All right, somebody give me another teacher. Who? Sheck? He's a good one. Art Sheck, he's a real good teacher. He's got a dry personality, but he's a good teacher. I've never heard anything bad about him. Art Sheck. I wasn't thrilled with him during the class, but 1 year later, I am so impressed with how well his lectures have stuck with me. His lectures are unique, but you will be able to recall and use the information long after. Does anybody see a difference between that person and the person that wrote the other two? Mr. Sheck has an easy class. However, he gives unfair grades. He has his favorites. He has his favorites. I don't know, should that be a comma? He writes very bluntly all over your papers, and when you fix what he asks, he decides to criticize it. I'm sorry, I'm not an English major, but that just don't sound right. I spent too many hours on my papers for this class not to transfer. Do not take any of Mr. Sheck's classes. Do you start a sentence with also?
Yeah, but you can, but you put a comma.
That's what I thought. He is sarcastic and very lame. I think I'd go on to the next comment. Art Sheck is a great English teacher, very good teacher. I enjoyed everything except his speeches. Super teacher. I liked him. He is an amazing professor. This gentleman is most mysterious. That is a woman that wrote that. Men don't use the word mysterious. Superb teacher. Awesome instructor. Blah, 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 blah. Okay? So you get to check out your instructors here. When's class over?
Right now.
Is it?
Yeah, I'll do it.
I thought it was 9:30.
No, it's not 20.
Okay. All right, let me take the roll and let me tell you what you need to be working on. All right, which section is this? 120 what? Anybody know what section it is?
It's the 2-9, I think.
2-9? All right, nobody leave yet. Okay, Mr. Ali.
He's here.
Where is he? Okay. Bourgeois, is that correct? Brewer, where are you? I'm staring at everybody, trying to learn names. Okay, I'm not perving, just staring. Brown, okay. Burris, okay. Copeland, okay. Cochran, sorry. Frazier, Gates, okay. Deere, Glenn, Hanks, Jackson, Yo Jackson, Miss Jackson's not here. Jones, Massey's here.
Yes, sir.
McCollum,
Here.
McElhannon, McGuffin,
Here.
Nix,
Here.
Park, Slice. Do I know your mama? Carol? Okay. Thought it was piano teacher. Oh, no, definitely not. No, it's mom, you know, definitely not. Spencer,
Here.
Towns,
Here.
Whaley,
Here.
White,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Williams,
Here.
Young.
Here.
Okay, sit down. You ain't going nowhere. All right. It's rude to like get up before somebody's finished. Some things you need to do before Thursday. You need to get your supplies. You need to get your calculator on your phone or get a calculator. You need to find out about your text. Do you want to borrow a text, share a text, buy an old text, borrow an old text, get a new text, use the text online? I don't care. I don't care what you do. You can share one for all I care. all right? So don't kill yourself trying to get a text, because I'm gonna pull the text up every day on the board if I can ever get that computer to work. Make sure you get on My Lab Plus, get that done, and bring any questions you got Thursday. Get out of here. Glad y'all got to see me today.
Have a good one.
And some of y'all need to cheer up. Y'all need to bring